Roshikesh Pandya. Hello there. Says, hello, Miran. Hope you're doing well. I'm Rushi24 London. Hello, Rushi24 London. Good of you to join us. You're the first up. Batter up. So I wonder where everybody is today. Let me turn this off. I thought we just having this once a week instead of every day that we used to have would make this to be a huge crowd as soon as I put the live on. But I guess we have run our course. Nobody loves us anymore. Nobody needs us. All right. What's going on? Atif is here. Says, hi, Mehran. Always cheers me up to see you. Wonderful, wonderful. I wanted to have a second career as a clown to cheer people up, but I guess I already have that effect. And I'm delighted that you shared that with us. I'm kidding. Good of you to join us. Lovely to hear those positive words. And Anand says, hi, Mehran. Please watch the comments on your new video I have posted. Oh, I did. It was like a book. God damn it. What the hell was that? Open my eyes. The first thing I do, I check my emails, because before I actually get up, I will answer a bunch of emails as soon as I can, as many times in between appointments, whatever I do, I keep checking the comments to respond, as I like to respond to all comments. If you have noticed, during the past 8-9 years that we've been online, this channel has started, I have answered pretty much every comment that I could see. I might have missed a few here and there, but it wasn't intentional. And some of the comments, actually, I want you guys to know that they just don't show up. They come to my email, and then I see them. Then when I click on play to go and to respond, to reply, not play, to reply, it's not in the video. And some of you in the past have wondered, and some people have been rude about it too, and maybe just one or two. And of course, I went out of my way to find their channel, the one who made a comment, and then leave the answer to their comments on their channel on one of their videos, just to make sure that they won't feel they've been neglected or ignored. However, some didn't even, consider. Even I posted the question and the answer on my own comment video page when I couldn't find it there. It was somehow deleted or not there. But the ones who were rude actually didn't care to pay attention to the efforts that was made to respect their comments and respond to them, and they made weird responses, which I just wanted to let you know, sometimes your comments don't show up. And if it does, I try to answer them. And who else do we have here? We have Jack. And I'll get to your question, comment, and in a second. Let me say hello to everyone. Jack is here. Says, hello, Mehran. A long time. Well, I've been here, Jack. Where the heck have you been? I've been seeing your pictures you post on Facebook, and been making sure you're doing good, and I'm sure you are. Colonel, what's up with the Army world? And I hope you're still enjoying it. It's a great place to be, and it's a great experience, no matter how long you wish it to last for you, whether career, army, or just service time. Either way, I'm sure you're enjoying it. And Hershikesh says, so me and my girlfriend broke up last year in June. Okay, I'll get back to that, because first I got to answer Anshi's, but I want to say hello to everyone. Let's see who's here. Slobodan is here. Hello, Mehran 21 Belgrade. Hope you're how are you, mate? Okay, good. Thanks very much. Glad for you to be here. Juanpa is here. Pura vida, Mehran, he says. And Pura Vida as well. Juanpa, male 25, Costa Rica. Don't forget the protocol, guys. I need to know those credentials, like male, female, however you signify your gender, then age and where you're tuning in from. Ashish, I know it's very serious to you, and I'm sure it is. And when I was 17, everything was serious about girls. Falling in love, wanting to get to know them. But you have to realize all these ways that you're thinking right now, you won't feel this way in a few years. Like you would actually find it um, interesting to yourself that why was I so, you know, concerned about it. Right now at this age, Ashish, it is such an amazingly big deal for you. Not because you love the girl or you know, all that, and you knew her for like a few years, I think I remember. And you're 17. That means you got to know her like when you were like, what, 14, 15? Not just because that you love the girl. Also at this age, any age mostly, but this particular age of 17, 16, a girl liking you is like affirming your existence, that you're somebody. Because at that age, we're pretty much nobody. We have not much education. We haven't completed anything. We haven't accomplished anything. We haven't succeeded in much. We're still trying to study. We're still trying to show the world that I'm a man, I'm a human being, I'm a person, I'm adult, I've reached a certain age, I can make decisions, I can do things, I'm capable, all of that. And we haven't done any of that. But one thing that we have is we love someone. And this girl happened to love us back. That has made you feel that's where I can show to myself that I am who I wanted to be. I am, I'm affirmed. That I'm affirmed that I am a good person because this woman likes me. I'm the stud muffin, I'm a man. And when she does something weird or she doesn't pay attention to you, you think by her not continuing her attention towards you, your affirmation is gone. And since you have nothing else to fall back on, like your accomplishment, your studies, your job, your career, your expertise in something, or whatever it is that later on you will succeed to do, every one of us did, because you have nothing else to fall back on, you think everything that could have made you feel the man that you feel you are and you want to be and you want to prove it to the world is gone by her. When she's left, your identity as far as your persona, how accomplished you are, how important you are, is gone. And you're trying to save that, thinking that she is the one who carries your manhood. It's not true. You're the one. Because I assure you, this one doesn't work, another girl will show up. In fact, you will grow up next year or so, and you will have more of an understanding of the world and ambitions and your plans and capabilities according to your capabilities and qualifications as it goes up, as you experience life. Your standards will change. In other words, you would want a different woman who would have different standards and understanding. You would expect more from a woman. At this point, when you haven't accomplished anything in your life, all you expect from a woman to be a woman. That's all. All you expect from a girlfriend is that I have a girlfriend. There's that girl, likes me, or says hello to me, smiles at me, I can go have tea or coffee with her. That's all it matters to you right now. That's all your standards are. You don't expect anything else. Because you are pretty much, at this point, haven't accomplished all the things that you will accomplish in the future. And when you start accomplishing those things and become more accomplished in your life by your studies, by your accomplishments, by whatever you learn and experience in life, your expectations from your girlfriend, the kind of woman that you're looking for to have a relationship with, will also change and become, you'll expect a lot more. Your standards will change. And this girl that you're all gone nuts about wouldn't mean much to you because you wouldn't even care about a woman with this limited qualification or this level of qualification. And right now you're expecting from her, like you would expect from some real mature, understanding woman. She's just a kid herself. She's done stupid thing when she's in a relationship with you, sends her naked picture or partly naked picture to someone else, a friend of yours. That's not cool. That's stupid. But that doesn't say that she's a bad person. That's what girls do in these day and age. Unfortunate as it is, it's not how it used to be, but that's how it is now. But it doesn't necessarily represent their actual persona. It's like they're trying to get affirmation from somebody that would say, oh wow, she's so hot. That's their way of getting affirmation from themselves, but other people's attention, which is weak, but that's the way most women are today. Most people, men and women, looking for attention of other people to feel good about themselves. So a guy who has a girlfriend still enjoys some other girl checking him out, say hello or would smile to him. And a girl who's got a boyfriend may still enjoy somebody else, kind of saying hello or showing that he's interested. Not that she would actually want to reciprocate, but she would like to know that she's kind of getting the attention, even though she doesn't request it. But she wouldn't mind it because it kind of gives her the feeling of, oh, I'm important. Because this is what most human beings are. They are getting their affirmation through the attention of other people, which is very stupid, and they shouldn't really care about it. But part of our psyche, that's what it wants. The ego and all that makes us feel important. Unless you have really gone a little bit deeper and you've seen the world in such a way that you should, and you're focused on your accomplishments and things you want to learn, and really these things don't give you any extra importance at all, and you actually don't find them necessary or interesting to you anymore because your sights are on bigger things. You consider yourself that you're way beyond that, and you don't need other people's attention to feel important, because you feel important based on your accomplishments and ambitions and things, your commitments, and the solid foundations that you're building a relationship on, and so on and so forth. But that comes with maturity. So at this point, what you're really worried about is if she goes, or if you don't accept her back, how you're going to feel. Yeah, you're going to feel miserable because you're used to her, and especially you started from, I don't know, age 14 or 15 with her. And so to you, she's the world, and you think she's your honor and she's your life, and her behavior would define you, and all that shit that is in every boy's head when we are grown up. That the woman's behavior, that because she's my girlfriend, that represents me, that describes me, that's my echelon. No, it's on her. Whatever she does, it's on her. You're not married to her. She's a girlfriend to you, and she's responsible for her behavior, just as you're responsible to your behavior, to show your good side, to show your manners, to show your loyalty, to show your qualities. She's also responsible to carry herself in such a way that she will put herself in a good light, and also to put you in a good light by her behavior in the society. But she's not old enough to know that stuff. You guys are too young, so you shouldn't take this too seriously, And I assure you, pretty much, neither one of you are going to get married with each other because it was 17. You're comparing this, what you have, this relationship, with what was in the past. In the past, you had no relationship. It was just her maybe a couple of years ago. You haven't seen anything. Your expectations are so little. It's like someone who's never had food and then suddenly gets to see some kind of a piece of dried uh, bread and a bit of cheese, and you think, oh, that's the world. That's the best food in the world. Why? Because you don't have anything else to compare. So for you two are met each other at the time that you had no expectation, no knowledge of who you are, let alone knowing what kind of girl you want or her, what kind of a boy she's looking for. So you just got met, and you got met. You got to know each other, and you exchange, interactions. You negotiated life and certain things together, and you experienced this interaction. And to you, she's all there is. But that's the age you are at. Wait till you grow up, you go to college and meet other girls and accomplish other things, you become a little bit more mature and have other opportunities, meet other people with their, with other, manners, morals, mentality, expectations, ambitions, and so on, and accomplishments. And then you will see that, hey, I'm not interested in that person anymore. My expectations are different because I'm different now. You change through life yourself. So right now you think she's all there is because that's all you are. When you become more, then you'll expect more, and she wouldn't be part of it. So if you want to stay friend with her, stay friend with her. But you're looking at, your judgment is not based on that she's your girlfriend. Your judgment is based on, oh, she's my wife and she's done these and that, so forth. What she did was pretty stupid, childish. But that's what she is. She's a child. She's 17. Neither one of you are really grown up. You're all bundled up with your emotions, and you think because you have, as I said, because you haven't accomplished much else in life and you're still on your way to find yourself, accomplish yourself, learn things, you think this is the biggest accomplishment of your life, having a girlfriend. And now she's send a naked picture to a friend of yours, and so on and so forth. Whether she broke up with you, but whether you guys were broken up or not when she did that, doesn't matter. It was only just a couple of weeks after. Even if you were broke up, still a bad behavior. But that bad behavior came from an immature woman, age 17. What does she know? She's a kid. She's like you. Your friend said that you kissed another girl too when you guys broke up, and so. But you really didn't think that, that means more than the girlfriend, that the relationship you had with your girlfriend. But you did it anyhow. So, but somehow you expect the girl to comply with certain different rules than you would comply. And that's mostly what boys think. Oh, they can do whatever they want to do, but if the girl does something, that's really bad. Well, I'm not saying what she did was cool, but I'm saying is that you do some things, but she does some things, but you both are doing things at your age. It's not like you know any better and you still behave this way. You don't know any better. She doesn't know any better. She wants attention. That's the age she is. She wants to feel she's, sought after. People are after her, that she's popular. And today, girls do all stupid things to get that kind of attention, which is unbecoming of them. But that's because of the immaturity, So, it's not a big deal if you guys, continue being friends. And also, your friends are also assholes, because your friends know that she's with you. If she even approaches them or sends them texts or whatever, why would they become best friends with her? Why would they continue that? You said that she became best friends with your friend. What the hell is that? She's your girlfriend. Why would she become best friend with your, other friends? So she's a little bit lack of standards, and your friends, guy friends, are also low class in a way of uh, properly handling such situations. There should be a limit of friendship. What best friend? She's your girlfriend, but she's chatting with them all the time. It doesn't make sense. It's not like, I don't know, they're her school friends or they're just friends. Obviously, it's, and then sending pictures to the guy and the guy kind of reciprocating the way of continuing that without, I don't know. I just don't think your friends are good, mannered, well mannered, or classy to to actually allow this to happen. And your girlfriend actually is not mature enough to behave properly. You guys can talk about it and come to a certain kind of understanding, but don't expect you have to make a decision about this because you want to get married to her or whatnot. You guys may not, maybe a couple of years or a year from now, for different reasons, you guys will separate. Because it's too early to think that the childhood romance of age 15, 16, 17 will end up actually marrying each other. Why? Because you haven't made the changes, each one of you. You haven't made the changes that you will. And when you make those changes in your persona through your experiences and accomplishments and challenges of life within the next few years, then your expectations will also change and you want a different kind of a girl and she may want a different kind of a guy, or one of you would, or both of you would. So doesn't matter really if you stay with her or don't stay with her. You can expect that you won't necessarily end up being together. So take it easy. It's not that important. If she's done what she's done, it just shows you that she doesn't have a good judgment at this age, but she's very young. Most girls at this age don't have good judgment. Most boys at this age don't have good judgments. But at the same time, your guy friends are stupid assholes as well. You know, but you know what? Again, they're kids too. They're 17, so they're looking for some girl, some opportunity. So if your girlfriend and they not having enough manners and morals, reciprocating and approaching your girlfriend, that shows what kind of people are around you. Perhaps, if anything, this showed that you really don't have good friends that you can trust, and that you also don't have a good girlfriend that you can trust her judgment and morals and values to know better, not to become best friends with your guy friends. What the hell is that? What does that mean? Best friend? All right, so nothing will be ruined if you let her go, and nothing will be destroyed if you stay together. Just be together. Don't think of her as your wife. Think of her as a 17-year-old girl like yourself, 17-year-old boy. You're trying to find your way in this universe. So that's it. Don't make it too serious. Focus on your studies and focus on learning and see what you learn from this. And don't be too harsh on her, because whatever she does, it's a reflection on her, not on you. So don't think, oh, she's destroyed my reputation. No, she hasn't done anything to you. Whatever she's done it to herself. Look, right now, your friends, how they talk about her and how you think about her and how probably she's figuring it out that it was a stupid thing to do. But look, you guys are all growing up. It's not like, that's it. The girls, boys at this age or any age, you want attention. So when they're mature and they want attention, then they're stupid and low class. When they're at this age and they want attention, well, that's even immaturity. What do you expect? It's experience. You want attention of the girls. She wants attention of the guys, but she went about it the wrong way when she's already in a relationship with you. Perhaps because you guys started at age 15 and it's just the only boy that she's serious with, and she's the only girl you've been serious with. So obviously she could probably want to know if other boys are interested in her as well. So she allows that in order to feel good about herself, because that's how most young people these days feel good about themselves, by other people's attention, which is stupid, but that's human psyche. So anyhow, let's go on to next. So we have Horshikish. I'm going to say Horash. Says to move and date someone else. Let's see, where is it? Ah. Says, so me and my girlfriend broke up last year in June. I haven't been able to fully move forward due to current lockdown climate, and I live at home. My ex lives out with her friends and has been able to move on and date someone else. She now seeing someone else. All three of us share mutual friends, etc. My question for you is, why can I not be happy for my ex? Why should you be happy for her? Why should you not be happy for her? Why should you just move on with your life and focus on what brings happiness to you? Focus on the fact that this was a relationship. Every relationship has a duration, and this was the duration of it. I enjoyed the relationship. I learned something from it. And as every human's consciousness is different, depending on how the content of the consciousness is, and every human consciousness has different contents in it, in ways that it could create that exclusive personality that you have, that special personality that you have. So at a certain point, as you're dynamically growing and the consciousness is changing, the contents of the consciousness is changing, your expectations, your compatibility levels will change and get to the point that you may want to break up. And this is what happens, and that's what you look at it. But you don't necessarily have to be happy for her or sad for her or angry about it. Just understand it, that this is how human psyche works and how relationships work, and sometimes they last longer, sometimes they don't. At the beginning, everything is novel and everybody tolerates everybody because they want to prove that they're a good person and they're interested in each other's, energy and each other's, the intimate friendship and all that, and hope for the, some romance and all that will keep them together and tolerate things. But after a while, the novelty of that whole excitement of the beginning of relationship passes, and you start getting to know each other's unconsciousness level more, and then you will see there are certain things that is not compatible. And that's because the content of each consciousness is different, and how you've been raised in the upbringing has created a different kind of a reflector. Your consciousness becomes a reflector of the happenings of the world. So as things are happening, your consciousness, based on its conditioning, it reflects differently on these happenings. And the way you reflect, and the way you interact with it, and the way she reflects and interacts with happenings of the world, life challenges itself, causes to see each other's being not so compatible anymore as you thought you were at the beginning. And that would be the beginning of the breakup. And that is fine. That is part of normality. And you learn from it, and then you fine tune it, and you understand more about yourself and what kind of a girl that is not going to be compatible to you. And then you go on and find somebody else. This is what how you should look at it, rather than, I should be happy for her because then that would mean I'm a good person. Why should you be happy for her? What for? What are you? Why should you be mad about it? Like angry? Oh, that affected my honor. I am. Don't do that. Whatever she did is reflection on her, and whatever you did, reflection on you. You came to a point that you saw it's not working. Just as you were once interested in each other, then you're not. Meaning that's the depth of your relationship was. There was nothing else to find out about you, at least at this juncture. I don't know how old you are. By the way, where is the information? You're supposed to let me know your age. How it is? Oh, 24. Okay, good. Thank you. Sorry about that. London. So that's it. You want it to be normal, like, you know, it's not. It's going to be a little bit awkward. She was with you, now she's with somebody else that you know in the group. It's awkward. You don't have to make everything, you don't have to put up with everything, guys and girls. You don't have to put up with everything just so that you will look in a good light in the eyes of the observer. Who's the observer? Who is watching you that you're trying to score a point with? Who is giving you all that judgment that you want to impress that watcher, that controller, that observer? Who? Who are you trying to impress? It's your own thought. You have created an observer to watch you, what you do. It's your own thought observing you from above, what you're doing. It's nobody else out there that you're trying to impress by being a good person or never be a bad person. That's given, that's definite. But don't have to be goody two-shoes either, that I have to be wonderful because I have to be happy that she's happy. Well, you don't have to be happy that she's happy or angry that she's happy. Just focus on your own life. You don't have to impress anything that you're thinking is judging you because watching your behavior toward this happening. You were with this girl, you guys broke up now, and she's with somebody else. You don't have to be happy about that. And you don't have to do some crazy stuff either. You just simply understand that this was a relationship. She has all the rights in the world to move on with her life to somebody else, with somebody else. And you have all the rights in the world to move on with somebody else and love another girl, find another girlfriend. So life doesn't stop because she left you and gave her attention to another guy. And the number of girls who you would have a chance to meet or would be interested in you would not diminish just because she's no longer with you and she's with somebody else. She is not representation of all women and all possibilities. There's so many other amazing women out there that you will get to know them. So stop thinking that I have to be really wishing her well all the time in my mind because I have to be a good person because somebody is judging what I'm thinking. No, you don't have to wish her ill, and you don't have to wish her, oh, I'm happy for you, so happy that you found some. No, you're not happy. Of course you're not. Which guy will be happy if his girlfriend's broke up with somebody else? Nobody. Don't push yourself to that kind of mode or expecting yourself to be, oh, I'm a holy this and that. No, you're a normal guy. And you broke up with your girlfriend or she broke up with you, obviously you're not happy about it. You don't have to pretend you're happy, but you don't have to be nasty, obnoxious, or wish any ill for her either. Understand her right and your right, and live your life. Go with another, opportunities. The reason it didn't work out is what? Because you guys were not compatible. If it was suitable, you guys would still be together. If you've broken up, that means it wasn't compatible. Why would you want to be with someone that actually has broken up with you? Meaning you guys were together, had the opportunity to see each other, how you function, how you relate to life and experience life in certain levels together, and you did that, and then it didn't work out. Why is it that now that it hasn't worked out, you think it should work out? Well, if it was going to work out, it would have worked out without it breaking up. The fact that it is broken up, that means you guys ended up not being as compatible as you hoped to be. This is the one that you should take away from it and say, good, now that I know this one is not the right girl for me, I'm now on my way to find another possibility. Maybe this next girl would be right for me. If not, the next one. But you cannot say, now that I for sure know that we are not compatible. Why? Because we broke up. If we were compatible, we wouldn't be breaking up. We wouldn't have broken up. Now that we have, and I know, therefore, we are not compatible for the reasons that whatever it was that we broke up, why do you want to be with someone who's already broken up with you and you know it's not compatible? If it was at the beginning that you didn't know each other, okay, we say, great, get together. But that is because you don't know each other. Now you know, you went through that relationship, it didn't work out. Why do you still want to be with someone whom you know it didn't work out when you were in a relationship with? That knowledge should worth something. Before you didn't have that knowledge, so you got together. Now you were together for a period of time. Now you know it didn't work out. It doesn't work out. Now you broke up, which means actually you tried and it didn't work out. And you tried to keep it together and it didn't work out. So you broke up. When you now know it's broken up, why do you want to be with someone with the knowledge that this wouldn't work out? Because it didn't. I was there. It didn't work out. We broke up. Why do you want to be with someone? Why do you want to drive a car that you know its axle is broken? When you bought the car, you didn't know and it was working for a while. But now that it's broken, why do you still expect it to drive well? If you're smart, you get out of the car, go and get on the bus or get another car. It's telling you, it's the cue. I'm not working. We're not drivable. Or we don't know how it operates for each other. So that's the knowledge you take away from this. Instead, you're trying to make it like, oh, everything is okay. No, walk away. Walk away. You don't have to be happy for her and you don't have to be upset about it. But if it's not comfortable for you, don't hang around with them. This is not a, forever thing. They're going to break up too. So. I don't know. I hope it's been helpful to you, the conversation. Because pretty much what I intend to do is to bring certain points into your minds that you guys can actually cause you to ponder and make your decisions based on looking at things from different angles. You're looking at it as, I have to be okay with this. No, you don't have to be okay with this. You don't have to put up with shit in life, but you don't have to be malicious or negative or angry or ill wish for other people either. Just simply gotta see it for what it is. It's not working. Okay, it's not working. I get off the car, get on a bus, get a taxi, get another car, walk. But I'm not gonna sit in there and knowing that the car is not starting up, is not moving. No, I have to be happy about this. No, I'm not happy about this. The fucking thing is broken down. So what do I have to do about it? That's what you gotta get to. Not, I want to change the situation so I can handle it. No. How do you move on from this? Because you've recognized it's not working for you. Now sitting here and wanting to be okay with it or making it work, that's the wrong attitude. You've tried, you recognize it, that it's not working for you, you see that. Now, what do I have to do to make life as enjoyable as it should be for me? First thing is, by walking away from this. Making a distance between me and a situation that is not interesting to me anymore. Then I will, in getting more distance from this, I will be less focused on this and more focused on other things that are closer to me I'm paying attention to, and I will be able to explore all other opportunities out there. So many other wonderful people, new friends, new women, new associations, then you will find new hobbies and through those new people. And then you go on with your life. This is what you need to focus on. Not have to deal with this. No, you don't have to deal with it. You should say your boyfriend, you were her boyfriend and now she's with somebody else. Okay, fine. She was your girlfriend, now it doesn't work. She's with somebody else. Okay. Don't make it too big a deal. Don't make it to be like the life itself depends on this relationship. So, in other words, in short, don't give a shit. Don't give a damn. At least not that much. All right. Aman is here, says, hello, Marin. Hello, Aman. 19 male India, thank you for that. Luna is here, says, salam, dear Mehran. You're still and will always remain loved and appreciated. Hope your family are well. Inshallah. Thank you very much, Luna Jan. Inshallah, you and your family are also doing well, healthy, keeping safe, and your loved ones as well. And you're also loved by everyone, by me, and the whole presence of you makes the channel even feel um, much more positive. And thank you for your kindness and your kind words, and always happy to see you here. Luna says, lovely to tune in from UK, 36 female. Thank you for that, Luna, dear. And so you didn't say it, but I say it. Shukran, tamam. In case it was in your head. All right. Aman says, why don't you try to apply for a television show of your own, like Dr. Phil? I don't know. Nobody has approached me yet. So we'll see. Look, let us fish the fry that we got. I mean, fry the fish the fry. Fry the fish that we got. We have hard time to getting the channel noticed. Not look, 15 people here. What are you talking? Television show? Nobody knows about us. Once we have 15,000 people here, then I would expect somebody to call, because that means they've noticed the channel. The channel is not visible. As good a content as we have, but nobody knows about this channel. Only a bunch of, look at, one time a week I do that, there's only 15 people here. So what does that mean? I don't know. But thank you for that, Aman. And Abid says, oh, hello, Aman. I was talking to Aman. Okay. And she says, no, Maran, I don't feel like that. I want attention or something. No, it wasn't you. You, in general, boys at 17. And if you say no because you're 17, you think no because you're so full on focused on her has to be yours. I want to tell you there are other women in the world that you will love and adore and appreciate them because they've got qualities that a girl at 17 doesn't, and you at 17 don't. You will have a lot more qualities when you're 25, 26, and there were other women out there that would have a lot amazing more qualities when they are 25, 26, 27. They've figured out certain things, they've made some mistakes and learned from it and so on. You cannot expect this girl to behave when she would maybe if she's 28 or 29. At this age 17, she doesn't know much. So why don't you just simply go through life and accomplish your studies and so on, and don't expect too much from her, and don't think she should be as mature as you expect her to be just because she should be at some point. So don't think of her as she's like your wife, or she has to be behaving like, I don't know, your mom would do. She's so young, she doesn't know shit. And at this age, in this day and age, girls at age 17 are different than the girls that was my time that they were 17. There was a whole different protocol when I was 17. When I wanted to go and go for pizza with a girlfriend, a friend who was a girl, not necessarily my girlfriend, but a young lady. It was a different thing. It was a whole different ballgame. We would go to their home to see their mother and their father, and would stay a couple of minutes at least, and then we would, go out and to pizza or wherever it was that we were going to go. It was, and then we would make sure that she'd be returning back, whatever it's 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, whatever the time that was supposed to be. And most everyone, depending on their family, pretty much it was universal in the society, was adhering to certain set behavior and mannerism. And depending on the families, it could be a little bit different. But it wasn't like this, that this is not accepted thing that everybody should be stupid, lack of manners or morals, or do whatever because it's a world of getting attention. And, everybody's fishing for more attention. It's partly part of the human psyche to enjoy that, but not as much as it is today. I'm sure it's always been that women were interested to get attention, but not to this level, and not to provoke such things, do things to get that kind of attention. That means they're not relying on their intelligence, on their abilities, on their accomplishments, both boys and girls and boys. They're relying on just how many attentions can I get. That's all it matters. Not about what quality I'm putting out, what kind of attention I'm getting. As long as I get attention, it's all getting thumbs up. It doesn't matter what information I'm sharing on TikTok or on Instagram or on videos, just as long as I get, stir up something, you get lots of thumbs up. That makes me feel good. No, this shouldn't be. Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube shouldn't be your way of actual living and expectation in life. Thumbs up. Then that means I'm good. No, it's got nothing to do with how many thumbs up you get. That doesn't mean you're good quality. Because, girls, as soon as they just, show something, they get lots of thumbs up. What does that mean? They just turned amazingly mature and wise and credible and classy and qualified, and I don't know, they became scientists or they became philosophers just because they got thumbs up. No. So thumbs up just means attention. It doesn't actually add to your qualities. Same thing. Boys, I get thumbs up. Show my six-pack or show my muscle or do something. Okay, I did something crazy. I jumped, backflipped, and broke my neck. And everybody, wow, thumbs up. So what does that mean? You got success now? You're successful? You're mature? You're wise? What'd you do? No, you just got thumbs up. You got attention. Attention is not equal to accomplishment. Sometimes you do something amazing that attracts lots of attention and kudos. That's different than just getting the attention and thinking, that attention means I'm accomplished. Accomplishments gets attentions, but number of attentions you get doesn't mean that you're now accomplished. Anyhow, let's go on. Kazi Tutas is, okay, I don't understand what that is. Some word. Jeffrey's from Toronto, I guess, yeah? Hi, Miran, Jeff here, Toronto 33, there we go. Jeffrey says, my ex wanted to dump me in a coffee shop attached to a Chapters. I could have met her in person to be dumped, but I was too proud for that. Could I have convinced her not to dump me if I went? Indigo Chapters bookstore. It has nothing to do where you would go or wouldn't go. Someone's mind is made up about a relationship, so it doesn't matter where you go or not go. It's not about convincing. Look, if someone has got to the point that wants to break up with you, she didn't just come up with it last night. She's been thinking about it for the past while. And she hasn't been talking about it or giving you the relationship a chance to figure out things and move forward. For some reason that pretty much has nothing to do with you, she's decided to break this up. If it had anything to do with you, she would have talked about it long before and tried to resolve it because she was hoping to keep the relationship together. So if you want to break up with someone and the relationship is important and you have no other ulterior motive other than the effects of the person's behavior towards you, then you would talk with them. But if it's got nothing to do with you, they won't talk with you, because what are they hoping to gain when it has nothing to do with you and it is them who've decided for some reason to break it up? So in fact, they're not going to be talking to you, so you won't bring the good things of the relationship or your character into their mind, so they would change their mind. They've gone a little bit wacko. On that note, you don't want to talk about it. You let them move on. If they want to break up, fine, break up. Why? Because their intention is not because the relationship is not working out, or you're not a good person, or that you're doing something that they oppose it and they want to talk about it. It's not about you. It's somehow, for some reason, they just want to do something else. So if somebody breaks up with you without having discussed things for a long time, for a few months at least, it's not to do with you. There's no skin off of your nose. It's their thing, and they're not sure about their life, about what they want to do, about, being in a good relationship. And so therefore, I don't know, maybe they want to just goof off or do different things, but it has nothing to do with you. So whether you would have gone to wherever it is that you would, coffee shop or not, wouldn't make any difference, because the decision is not about you. Because it's a relationship, it's between two people, so it can't be all you. If whatever it is result of the interaction, that there is a corrosive interaction, or there is a conflict. There's no conflict if there is no interaction. So this cannot be about just you. It's about both of you. It's about her and you. It's about her in more cases, if she hasn't talked about it with you, because it means it's not about you that she can talk about it. The problem is not you. So she hasn't brought it up. What is she going to bring it up for? And if she has, and you guys talked about it and things weren't resolved, okay, then you break up. But you don't have to think that this would have been different if you did this or if you did that. Why do you guys always think the one who's breaking up is the one who's better than you? Can you not understand that the one who's breaking up could also be the one who doesn't qualify to be in that relationship? Why should you think because she's breaking up with you, then you're the one who's not qualified for her? What about that she's not the one who's qualified to be with a man like you? It could work any way around. If the guy is breaking up with you and you say, well, why does it have to mean that it's anything wrong with me? Why is the fact that the guy is not qualified for the girl? Just because the guy wants to break up with the girl doesn't mean that the girl is not qualified. But this is how people look at it. Whoever breaks up with the other one, the one who broke up seems to be the one who's got the right to break up, and that is better than the one who just were let go. Don't think that way. It's all two-way street. And most of the time, unless you've been abusive, it's got nothing to do with you. And you shouldn't think that it has anything to do with you. All right. Slobodan says, I watched a video about HOCD and helped me a lot. Good, there are lots of videos there, guys. I've done my best for you guys. You have no excuse not to understand that HOCD is just bullshit. But it's because the brain's malfunction, and it's all just irrelevant. But because you have not understood the separation between brain, thoughts, and you've been duped to believe that the brain is you, the brain is your intellect, the brain is your teacher, the brain is your leader, then that's why you get all messed up when there is a thought that pops up in your head, which you're not responsible for, because you don't understand that the brain is a thought manufacturing plant. It's got nothing to do with you. Brain makes thoughts, like intestine makes shit. It has a job. It takes food, turns into energy, and also lots of things are feces and gets rid of it. And that's the big part of the production, that most part of the production is useless. Part is the energy that it uses. That's what you use. You judge it. You take that. Your body system is designed to take the useful thing, the energy that the food is turned into by your intestine. And the body is also designed to get rid of the feces, the stuff that the intestine could not turn into energy, and they're waste. They're feces. They're the residues. Same thing. Brain, its job is to turn thoughts out. So you will select, like you go to a bazaar, see all kind of shit there. But you only want certain things that could be of use to you. So you choose them. And this is how you should behave to what brain produces. Thoughts. Not all thoughts are useful to you. 80, 90,000 thoughts a day are produced by the brain, but none of them are of interest to you, and none of them have been initiated or instigated by you. It's the brain that makes thoughts from all kinds of information that seeps through the brain, and it's irrelevant to you. It's got nothing to do with you. It's not your choice or your responsibility. But out of these thoughts that are being made, that's what the brain does. Its job is to make thoughts. You will judge them. If you have any time, or if you feel any of them could be of any use to you, you will judge them based on the values that you have, and you see if it suits, if it's useful to you, and then you either veto it, which goes by the wayside by ignoring it, or you feel, maybe there is something in there, I can use that to produce something, learn something, or one thing that I want to accomplish. Then you do. Otherwise, all these thoughts that the brain makes has got nothing to do with you. It's brain's thoughts, not yours. And you're not responsible for it. You didn't initiate for it. You didn't ask for it. You didn't even know about it. The thoughts that are yours are the thoughts that you selectively go into the consciousness, pick up certain information, and use those material from the inventory of the consciousness to produce something, learn something, accomplish something, calculate something, figure out something. These are your thoughts. The rest of them are brain's thoughts. And part of these productions of the brain is all these nonsense that is opposite of the gender that you are. Whatever gender you are, we all have different genders. Some of us this and some of us that. But whatever our gender is, the HOCD hits you with the opposite of what you are. And it's got nothing to do with you. It's the brain's malfunction in the signaling system, and it's the way the brain functions. Latches onto something that is not interesting to you, it's negative to you, and comes up with ideas, but those ideas have got nothing to do with you. But you thinking that the brain is intellect and it's got to have some deity, some message, you go on trying to data hunt it and analyze it and all that shit. But that is what the brain does to keep you occupied in some kind of a business, in some kind of a topic, in order to feel that it's secure. Because the brain is not like your body that finds security in physicality of this life. Brain is not like your body when you know where your limbs are and you're in your apartment and the door is locked and you're in a good part of town and you feel secure. Brain doesn't find security in physical area. The brain finds its security in occupation. And how this occupation comes about is by making thoughts. So when it makes thoughts, it's not thinking about what it's making. If it means anything to you, if it's useful to you, it's making thoughts because it's supposed to make something to create occupation. So through the occupation, it creates security because it has no physicality and actuality to need a physical area to feel secure. It's all over the place, but it can get focused in a thought, an exchange of topic, in an occupation between you and itself. It's two different things. There's a you, there's a brain. Brain is not you, you're not the brain. You're beyond brain. Brain cannot reach you. If you watch my video on are you or the brain is the you, you will see the work of Dr. Speary, Dr. Penfield, Dr. Libet, Dr. Owens. These are all brilliant neurosurgeons that through neurosurgery, beyond the shadow of the doubt, they've proven in the modern times what was proven in the Aristotle time, dualism, that it is not all brain, it is not all material or void. It is not all the brain that can decide for your do, and you're not the brain and brain is not you. You're beyond the brain and brain cannot reach you. That what brain cannot reach is you. The judgment, the judge of all these what the brain produces, that's you. And you got to exercise your veto and your choices. That's how you live. Not by the suggestions and images or ideas of the brain. Because brain is not you, you're not the brain. So all these HOCD and all these bullshit that comes to your head, irrelevant to you. You always gauge you always gauge thoughts against your values, what's meaningful to you, your core principles, your inclinations, your manners, your morals, your faith, your beliefs, whatever it is that you feel and you keep sacred, you hold sacred. You judge thoughts that are produced by the brain that pops up in your head that annoys you against the values that you hold sacred. And you protect your values. And that way you approach life and you ignore everything else that doesn't measure up to your preferences, to your values as you hold them in your gatekeeper. As Dr. Philipson says it, and in your wise advocate, as Dr. Schwartz says it, and in your superconsciousness, as I say it, and I'm not a doctor. So all right, now, let's go on with the next question. Anyhow, we have lots of videos on 2 playlists, Intrusive, Transient, OCD, HOCD, Negative Thoughts, and which is a nitty-gritties and interpretation of thoughts and the origin of thinking and consciousness and why intrusive thoughts happen at all. And for that reason, you should watch video 7 to see how powerful the brain is and how it can actually affect your body, make you think that something that is bogus and not true, that's true because it has the power to make your body react to it. And then watch video number 8, which tells you why intrusive thoughts of things that you don't even have any knowledge about, any initiation or instigation or irrelevant to you, didn't even be aware of it, why they show up. And also number 11 that tells you about how thought is born and the relationship between thoughts and consciousness. And these are videos that are numbered, I think 20 or 30 of them in the playlist that I mentioned, thought, intrusive, transient, OCD, HOCD, negative thoughts are numbered, and these numbered ones are the ones I want you to watch. And the other playlist, intrusive, OCD, HOCD, short videos, and I caution you, they're not all short. Those are the videos that discussed the concept and proven philosophically and scientifically is proven that there's a separation between brain, thoughts, and you. There is a you. There's always been a you. Brain was added to it 40,000 years ago. And when you keep these two separate, then you understand that your mission in life is training your brain and not taking the brain as your teacher. The brain is an addition, an apparatus that was bought and purchased and placed, mounted on your head, on your body, to serve you. But this machine goes malfunctioning itself and has its own production of nonsense. But you are the boss, which is supposed to judge, measure, and therefore ignore and trash by not paying attention to it all day long. Because as the brain is very powerful and useful, it also is useless when it does its own thing, which is doing constantly, as I explained why. So, where was I going with that? Anyhow, if you understand the separation between you, brain, and thoughts, that's your mission in life, to bring freedom to yourself. If you don't understand this, you will always follow the brain, and the brain is as stupid as it comes. Brain is not intellect, it's a machine. When you follow a machine, your intelligence becomes the level of the machine, which is zero. Understand that this is a computer. You put, and it's aware of all kind of shit that is happening in the world, because it has this capability of, when you look at something, read something, and hear something, these information all get bunched up here, absorbed there, and then it uses all that to make thoughts. And none of those information that came to you through what's happening in the world, what exists in the world, has anything to do with you, but you just became aware of it because every brain today becomes aware of what's happening in the world. And with what's happening in the world that accumulates that information here, brain makes thoughts. But as you are not responsible in the happenings of the world, you're not responsible in the kind of a thought that the brain manufactures with all that shit that comes into your head. And now, believing the fact that one of these things is supposed to be, what, making you feel that you're changing your sexuality because a thought showed up, is the same thing if you think that somebody is somewhere bombing another country is your fault. That's just a happening in the world, and the brain can pick up that, and I don't know, imagine that you're in there, you're bombing or being bombed, but none of them are real. Illusion. And you have to understand, there is a separation with what brain makes, thoughts that brain makes, and there's when you use the brain to make certain thoughts that would be useful to advance your life. So different things. Separate yourself from brain, understand brain is an apparatus, then you'll be free from all this shit. The roots of dealing with HOCD, to understand that HOCD is a thought made by brain, not by you. Thought wasn't involved when your gender was being put together in your mother's womb. It wasn't even around. You didn't have the ability to think. And thought can never have anything to do with any modification, any change in your gender inclination or your preferences. If you understand this, that it doesn't have any power of that sort, but it's powerful to make you feel or convince you of some shit that it puts together, if you can't be fooled, then you're free. And how not to be fooled is by understanding that the brain is not you, brain is separate, is an apparatus, is added to you, and there was a you before the brain. Brain is not you, you're not the brain, therefore whatever brain conjures up, it can never be you, it cannot change you, and has nothing to do with you in any way, shape, or form, let alone your gender. God damn it. Only 21 people here? What a good tea this is. This is amazing. It's amazing because I put some pieces of mango in it. Green tea with slices of dried mango. Amazing. All right, let's see what we have here. Slobodan, watch the video I have about groinal response, and it will enlighten you. Column says, I've always been heterosexual and attracted to women. I think about all time I've been aroused by women and how women made me happy. I keep having these unwanted thoughts at the back of my mind. Don't worry about it. We sometimes driving by and we hear other cars are playing different music and we hear them. But what does it mean to me? It doesn't mean that I'm playing it. It's in another car. It's another building. They're playing some music. It's not my music. So I hear it in the background. What does that mean? I don't care. I don't have to care about everything that comes to my head. I'm not responsible for things that comes to my head. I'm only responsible for my actions. And I don't care what kind of a thing comes to my imagination or brain or thoughts or whatever. I have the power to allow anything to turn into actuality or not see the light of day and die where it pops up because I ignore it. And that's how you live. That's how you protect yourself. There's all kind of attacks from all kind of things and all kind of people and entities out there in life. But you protect yourself by things that you be around, things you won't be around, things that you do, things you don't get involved in. Things. You have choices. You have powers. You walk away from situations you don't, want to be around. You see some people are, I don't know, arguing or fighting. You say that's a negative energy. I go somewhere else. You go to a place that they're selling products expensive. You say I don't want to be here. You have choices. There are things that are happening out there. You have choices, and you reason and your logic and your manners, your morals and your values tells you if this is suitable to me or not. It's not about what's being suggested. It's about what your veto and decisions and choices and selections are. Otherwise, all kind of shit is being offered. Since childhood, many of us been walking from school to home. Some pervert shows up and tries to, convince you that, oh, come here, I want to show you something. Or, what are you doing? Tries to grab your hand. All of these people are there. But you have learned to be aware of all these perverts and all these behavior and all these things out there. And you, according to what you've been taught, your values and how to protect yourself, then you behave and get away from those kind of people and situations. You go to martial arts schools to learn how to protect yourself. Why? Because you cannot simply think because you're a good person and you don't mean harm to anybody, that's how the world's going to be. You still got to have ways to protect yourself. Same thing, your values and what's meaningful to you and your manners and morals and what's sacred to you is how you protect yourself by protecting those values against all these suggestions either from other people, perverts, or people out there who mean negative, ill towards you, or it is suggested by the brain that is mounted on your own head, on your own body. Makes no difference. You protect yourself, whether from the outside or from the influences of the brain. It also has its malicious behavior because the brain is not you. It's a foreign entity here for you to train it. And if you don't protect yourself while you're training it, it could suggest many things and you've been duped to think that the brain is your intellect since childhood. It's not. Brain is no different than just shit-making factory. And you see which is shit, which is not, and you ignore them. Yeah? That's how you deal. That's how you have to be aware to protect. So you can't be so oblivious to everything and then think that everybody would behave and your brain would behave, not bring any intrusive thoughts, and other people would not bring any kind of intrusive behavior or any kind of malicious behavior or plans. No, this is a world that is shit out there that is being thrown at you. Weird people out there, weird intention, weird situations, dangerous situations, unwanted and undesired situations and things out there, and the same thing with your own brain that is suggests different things. You need to protect yourself by relying on your values, what's meaningful to you, whether it's your manners, morals, upbringings, your inclination, preferences, your faith, whatever it is that makes you to be the person that you want to be, you protect that. And that part of that protection is to ignore thousands and thousands of thoughts, because there are just like thousands and thousands of people who are out there that they're just hitting on different cylinders and they have different intentions about different things, and including you. You protect yourself. You go to martial arts school to learn how to protect yourself from other people's bullying or other people's behavior or trying to, I don't know, attack you or whatnot. You have a defensive mechanism. Your defensive mechanism in your life against the intrusions of other people or your own brain's intrusive thoughts is to focus on what's meaningful to you, what's valuable to you, what's important to you, and gauge all these intrusive thoughts and approaches, other people or your own brain, against your values. That's how you roll. That's how you select, and that's how you veto. The power is in your hand, not your brain. All right. Emmanuel says, hello, Miran. Hello, Emmanuel. Says, male 28, Boston. Hello, Emmanuel. Emmanuel says, why should we learn about ego? I understand what it is, but I don't know what I should get out of it. Thank you in advance. How can you deal with something if you don't know what it is? So you learn about ego to know what it is that it is doing or how it affects you in general in your day-to-day negotiation of life. How it affects your perceptions, why you're perceiving something the way you are. Is it actually based on your observation, your perception? Is it actually the observing the thing? Or you're actually perceiving it different than what it actually is because you are seeing it with the eye of the ego. It's affecting that whatever action was there because that's the only way it can be affecting you, or is it affecting you because you're actually having your ego have a say in that behavior or approach or whatever that was happening? Is it you seeing something for what it is, or are you seeing something what it is through the filter of the ego, which changes that thing that what it is based on what ego is? That's why you learn what ego is, so you can see things clear without the lens and the filter of the ego, so it'll be clear, vivid, and you will make decisions based on what that thing is and how it should be dealt with, how it should be looked upon rather than being perceived. When you look at something, let's say you see an orange tree, if you look at it, it's orange tree, great, so far so good. You go closer and you see, oh wow, the leaves are this color and they're oranges, and suddenly you say, oh, these oranges are a little bit bigger than the oranges I had in the orange tree of my uncle's home. And that orange, I remember my uncle would now take them and they feed them. Like suddenly you're no longer here with this orange tree. You're now looking at this orange tree, but you're actually seeing it as the orange tree was in your uncle's place. And you see those oranges. Your connection with this observation, with this interaction, with this orange tree is broken because now you're in your memory at the uncle's home with the orange tree that was there. So you're perceiving it other than what this thing actually is, and you're perceiving this, the actuality, with something that is no longer helps you to be in the present moment. Now, ego is kind of the same way. It takes you out of the present moment to be able to see the actuality of what it is that you're interacting with. It puts a filter in front of it, kind of tangent, that takes you out of your direct connection with what it is to see it as clear as it could be, and it kind of puts a lens and takes you somewhere else, just like it did with the uncle's home's orange tree, and make you be focused on that. See this orange tree through the lens of the uncle's orange tree. And the ego is like not letting you see the whatever it is, whatever the happening it is, based on that making decision reaction. It filters it, takes you out, and takes that situation, puts it in an incubator when this ego ingredients are going to change its powers or effects or influence on you, and give it different colors and different edges and different things, and bring it back here. So now you're not affected by what it is that was affecting you. You're affected with the ego-laced situation. So in other words, knowing about the ego, then you can peel this shit out and always try to see things for what it is, not interpreting it with the interpreter that is called ego. You want to fire that, but you got to know it before you can actually be able to put that mechanism of anti-ego lens. So in other words, you're putting another lens in front of the ego lens to get the ego out of the picture. In other words, if you don't know ego, how would you know that it is ego that is actually influencing what it is that you're interacting with? So that's why you want to know what the ego is. I hope that would help you and answer the question. And she says, thank you so much. God bless you, Maren. Thank you. My pleasure. Column says, sexually can't change because of thoughts, right? Yeah, right. It's like I think, this is not my finger. This is my thumb. Well, because I'm thinking about it. Maybe it's my thumb. Maybe it is. Doesn't matter what I think about it. It's not my thumb. Doesn't change that. Oh, I've got $1 million in the bank. Oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to buy that car. I've got $1 million. But I'm thinking about it. Doesn't mean I have. I've got nothing in the bank. Right? Illusion. Doesn't matter how many times it shows up. Malfunction. There's explanation about it. But it feels you, yeah, because it's powerful. The brain is powerful. Have you seen the video number? In fact, in the video of Are You or the Brain is the You, it's a long video, about, I don't know, 48 minutes, 50 minutes. But it's based on the presentation of Dr. Ignar, which was explaining about the neuroscience and neurosurgeries experiments that these brilliant doctors had done in the 30s and 60s and 70s and so on. A part of it, at the end of it, I have added the part that shows you how powerful the brain is. Or the video number 7 in the playlist, Intrusive, Transient, OCD, HOCD, Negative Thoughts, video number 7, it shows you why you actually end up believing your brain, because it's so powerful. And in that, I've shown you the power of the mind, power of the brain. Clearly. There's a 59-second video that I put in there. It's an excerpt from a seminar I did in local university a few years ago. And in that, it shows you brain is powerful, can make your body react. And if you watched my video about groinal response, you understand that the body reacts sexually to anything that has any sexual relevance. It has nothing to do with your inclination, your interest, or your values. But it reacts to it because we are sexual beings. Anything that has any sexual relevance, our body may react to it, but it's got nothing to do with our sexual interest or values. Watch that video, you will understand what I'm saying. As I said before, I could see a horse's butt and it's round and nice and it has a sexual relevance, and I may say, wow, oh, feels, oh, what does that mean? I'm a horsosexual. No. It just, the reaction that we have toward anything that sexually is relevant. You could look at I don't know, an acorn, and somehow you peel it off or whatever it is, that you find something smooth part of it, and it could seem to you with the connotation of this is a seed that's going to make another tree. You may have some kind of a sexual thought. It's possible. It's got nothing to do with you want to have sex with the acorn. You could see walking on the beach, you see beautiful lights out there and the ships, and it feels romantic. You could have a sexual reaction, a groinal response even, or arousal. But that doesn't mean you are a sheeposexual. Have to understand the sexual reactions that you may feel or not about different things, whether it's same sex, same gender, a car, a piece of cloth, or whatever it is. It's got nothing to do with your interest. The brain is not going to consult your values before it makes the body react to what is sexually relevant. It does. And the same way goes when you actually want to have a sexual response. You see a girl that you really like and you are together, intimate, and the thingy doesn't happen. But your whole everything is that you want it to happen. It just looks like that down there didn't get the memo. So sometimes acceleration is there, sometimes the brakes are there, and it means nothing. So you could have groinal response to so many things that has nothing to do with your interest, including sex, same gender. You could see a muscle of another male, and that has a sexual relevance because you have muscle. You've seen how men and women and the sexuality is, and the connotation and association of something to sex makes you react to the concept of sex, which has engraved in you based on your gender, but has nothing to do to any interest to that same gender. Not at all. But that what you're looking at has an association with the concept of sex because it has sexual relevance. You could have a sexual reaction to, I don't know, a red carpet that is for Hollywood celebrations, because you have this whole, the brain is so amazingly fast in association that it goes about all these things that could create, that has an association with sex. A nice, beautiful, fancy restaurant, I don't know, you could have an arousal. That doesn't mean you want to make love at the table. So you have to, table sexual. So you have to understand all these are natural behaviors of the body, and you don't need to have an explanation for it or understand it at all. Stop fucking trying to understand all these things that have no need for understanding. No questions should be there and no answers to be had. Enjoy your lives. Your body does whatever it does. Don't interpret it. Oh, what's that? The guy had a tank top, and what's that? No, it just has the anxiety gets in there. You look at them as some kind of a nemesis, or you look at them as a competition, or that they're taking away your chances with the girls. Maybe they're good looking, maybe they got muscles, maybe they have nice hair, or they fit, whatever. It's like you want to destroy them because you want to be the one. You're the one. Nobody can take your chance. The anxiety of the threat of other people or whatnot could make any changes of cringe in your whole system, and you think, oh, that means I'm inferior towards them or have a certain respect for you. No, you're a kind person, you're a good person, you want the whole world to be in harmony, and you see all these things that you don't consider them civilized, and you have that kind of a reaction, and you interpret it as something else, and end up your brain taking it to some sexual bullshit. Just don't look for any interpretation, don't look for any answers, don't try to respond to anything that you need to understand everything. Just look, we're animals. When we didn't have any thought abilities or thinking abilities or speaking abilities, we wouldn't question these, we wouldn't data hunt these things, and we wouldn't even know what it is, we don't even care, and there would be no association to anything. So, okay, I had a growing move, okay, I had a girl. I don't try to say, wow. Because all it's important is I know what my inclination is, I know what I love, and I know what I like, and I know what my preferences are. So I don't really care if my ass itches or my finger itches or, my eyes is twitching. I don't try to find reasons for that. Just that's what I do. I don't care. What's the interpretation? Well, when it comes to sex and something I saw, that one's because you want to be always sure that I am who I am and I'm perfect. Nobody should. This whole idea of perfectionism makes you always question everything, want to make sure of things. You don't need to. You are who you are. You'll never change. That's it is. The brain is fucked up and comes up with all kind of bullshit. Don't have to pay attention to it. Just live your life. Live your life. You're bigger than all that shit. That's how you should think of it. Everything else is just what it is. Your brain doesn't have to make any interpretation of anything. Don't have to even look for it. Then you're fine. You're free. All right. And Nick is here, says, Tena koe matua meranat. Kor, what is it? Forgot. You haven't been here. I forgot my Maori language. Kia ora, Nick. Kia ora, Nick. Good to see you. Male 44, New Zealand. I don't know who this is, what he's saying. All right. Roshikesh says, this helped greatly. The only thing that makes me feel guilty is that I know she would be happy for me if I found someone else. Well, how do you know? How do you know she would be or she wouldn't be? I mean, if you had broken up with her and already found a girl, and then you would find that your ex, found a boyfriend, maybe, I mean, you would be happy for yourself, okay, you wouldn't care because you already have a girlfriend and you're fine. So you wouldn't have any ill intent or ill thinking or negative thinking about her having a boyfriend because you already are okay here. Same thing. It's about, why are you giving so much credentials to her? Oh, I know she would be happy. Why are you making such an angel out of her? Maybe she will, maybe she won't. But why are you so trying to follow on her footsteps? Oh, I know she would be so happy for me because I have a... If she would really care that much, she wouldn't break up with you. So why are you having this inclination to make her as if she's... Wow, why? She's who she is, and whether she's going to be happy for you or not, okay, whatever. Why would you now have to compare yourself? Because you still want to impress her in your mind, because you think there's a watcher watching your thoughts about what is her thoughts maybe, or about what you think she's doing, and you should be happy. So that watcher would somehow get the word to her that you're actually happy for her. That would mean you're a good person, and you feel, oh, she's now knows that I'm a good person. You think what you feel she will know, and therefore she would feel differently about you, the way you want her to think about you. Stop with that bullshit. She broke up, she's no angel. You still have hots for her. Okay, so what? So just go on with your life and stop making a goddess out of her just because you still, interested in her. That's your thinking. Because I think she will be happy for me. How do you know? Whether she's or not, what does that have to do with anything? Live your life. Uh, and Harsha says, but you're right. We have very unique past and way we look at things. But I get it. If I am not happy with that, I don't need to pretend or try to be happy. Just focus. Okay. Says thank you, Meron. Thank Meron. You always help. If you remember, I asked you about advice on moving out as well. That also helped a lot. Okay, good. Good. Glad that it's helpful to you, all these stuff on the channel and so on. Luna says, ha ha ha, that's great. You got me, Meranjan. Alhamdulillah. He's glad to hear. Good. Okay. Jeffrey says, I would definitely watch the Mehran show. Yeah, you would, but first there should be a offer of having the television program before you would watch Mehran show. All right. Yusuf says, Salam Chituri Yusuf. Oh, Yusuf 28 UK. Hello, Yusuf. How are you, dear? And thank you for joining us. All right. We have Admiral General Aladdin. Okay. Borat is here. Says, Male 24 India. Says, hey, Meran, I hope you're doing all right. Have a good day. Thank you very much, Admiral. And thank you for saying hello. And Jeffrey says, thanks, Meran. I love bookstores too and didn't want her to ruin them for me. Yeah, it looks like Jerry Maguire that the guy wanted to fire Jerry Maguire. He took him to a restaurant and Jerry Maguire says, oh, I know what's going on. You brought me here so there would be no scene. Mate. So... Amy says, Meran, hello, tuning in from Montreal. Hello, Amy. It's first time you're here, Amy, isn't it? You might have been here before, but I've been oblivious to it because it's the first time I see your thumbnail here. And Amy, though, sounds like you've been here before, but I don't remember. So anyhow, good of you to be here. Amy says 24 female Canada. Ah, Canadian, eh? So you're on the other end of the country. You're about 5 hours on plane away from me. I'm here in Vancouver. 24 female Canada. I've been listening to, there it is. I've been listening to your channel and got a courage to join in live chat. Ah, good of you to join us. But nobody's biting here. Why do you mean got a courage? You need courage after all this love and compassion and attention and care for you guys. You have to have courage. My goodness, what have I done here? Says I had the courage to join in live chat. I recently broke up with my boyfriend because he gave me STD. We used protection. He was my only partner. And my doctor said I was unlucky. How do I stop feeling ashamed about my body? It's not curable with medicine. He was first boyfriend and now who's going to want to have sex with me? What are you talking about? It's maybe you're talking about herpes, but you have herpes. Everybody has herpes. You have it here, whether here or down there, wherever, it's all the same. To call it one here, is that what you're talking about, or is it something else? That's no big deal. What, 2 out of 3 people in in the world have herpes. It's something that eventually they're going to cure it with resonation of sound. the sonically, they're going to take care of it, and they're working on it. There's research being done on it to be remedied sonically, and it kills it. Because the resonation is actually how the Aztecs and thousands of years ago, they were actually healing people with sound waves. Different ailments were being corrected with different resonation of sound. In the pyramids, they had a place for that actually, would bring the patients in a certain kind of a sound and so on. And now they're having research on that basis for a long time now, and I guess not that long, but they're getting advanced to get that out of it. So it's no big deal. And it's not like it's there all the time anyhow. So it's like here. Sometimes you may have it here. I got it here. Once in a while, if it's, I don't know, something stressful or whatever, it could show up here every few years. And so some people get it down there. So what's the big deal? You don't kill yourself for it. You could actually, get it from different things without really having necessarily sex, or don't think that way. Amy says, I hate myself, my body, and angry. Why? No, you're a perfectionist. You have OCD. You don't have any problem with you. Everybody has that thing. Yeah. And right now, there's some little stuff that they can make the virus go away in remission more. We've got so many shit in our body, then suddenly this thing makes you feel like you have to hate your body. Do you know how much bacteria is in your body? Do you know how much bugs and worms and things are in intestines and everywhere in your body? If you knew that, you wouldn't want to. You would say, hey, look, at least this is so civilized. It doesn't show all the time. What are you talking about? You hate yourself. Every one of us are like this. Everybody. You've got, So you being a perfectionist, you think like, oh, there's some. No, it's actually you're more normal. You're among the normal part of the people. It's only 1 out of 3 or 1 out of 4 doesn't have it. And they will. Don't worry. It's because it just happens. What do you think chickenpox is? It's herpes. What do you think chickenpox is? That we all had it. Yeah? So it's not necessarily you could get it from someone. You had it from childhood. And this part, okay, maybe you got this in you, but it's the same family. Chickenpox is herpes. So don't be so devastated. You're as normal as everybody else comes. When everybody in the world is having sex all the time and I get this disease from my college boyfriend, I need your advice. I don't know what you're talking about. Is it what I'm talking about? Because I'm not sure if it's anything else than what I just said. Because if that's the case, there's no big deal. Just calm down. And talk to your doctor, and your doctor will probably tell you that, here's the cream. When it shows up this, and when it doesn't show up, it's in the nervous system. It's not going to be here and there. So the idiot probably was having it active when he made love to you. If he didn't, then it would be okay. But still, again, I'm not a doctor. Talk to your doctor, so I don't want to mislead anybody. But talk to your doctor, and they will explain to you, how you got it and how you can make it better and all that. But anyhow, there's research out, and they can probably fix it right now in a second, but they just want to make money, so they come up with the medicine that kills it, if they have it. I think they can. And they just give certain things to put in remission. But soon enough, they'll come with these resonating sound waves that it just resonates the virus to death, and that's the end of that. Don't worry about it. Englidani says, Salam Hube. You mean KH, Hube. This is Mehran, Englidani 24 London. Hello there. This is Mehran. How can I support my girlfriend who is grieving from the loss of her father in her life? Just be there. You don't have to come up with a solution because there is no solution. Somebody loses someone, they're no longer on this earth in the physical form that we knew them. There's nothing you can do about it. So don't try to come up with some magical words to make her feel as if her father is still alive. It's not. She's gotta have to deal with that and just be there for her. And don't try to make her laugh or anything like that. Just be there when she feels like doing something. Be there for her, but don't be in her, way all the time. Let her grieve if she wants to. Ask her if she wants you to be around. You will be around. If she doesn't, don't be. Does she need to process things? I guess come to terms with it. Everybody loves their parents, and it's very emotional. It's a big thing. It's a huge thing. But the funny thing is, as amazing and important this is, it is something that is engraved in our consciousness that this is inevitable. Therefore, while we are not ready for it, but in fact we kind of are, we have already accepted such a thing as part of life. That's why people always go on with some of their loved ones die, because they've been conditioned since childhood that this is part of life. So it's not like something that nobody thought it can ever be possible. It's like when they get older, or it's a possibility. So she'll be okay. It's not like she'll get over it, but she will be able to handle it and see it, because the mechanism already, the conditioning of accepting something called death is there, especially for our parents. So just be there, but don't expect it to be your responsibility or within your powers to make it all go away or make it all good for her. No, but she will deal with it. Just be there for her. Bossy Lico says, hello, I'm 14. I'm currently suffering from HOCD. I'm at a severe state of mind where I cannot sleep for days now. It has been 4 months now. Please help. Please, I'm 14. I'm 14 years old. Boy. Listen, Bossy, I would like to know if your parents are aware that you're here on my channel. Because you're 14 years old, I would like them to speak with you, or take you to a psychotherapist to help you to understand what this is. But I have videos on this channel, then anyone can take a look. There are 2 playlists. But you should understand that HOCD is not is a condition of the brain that most everyone in the world, 94.7 or 6% of the people in this world have intrusive thoughts of one kind or another. Pedophilia thoughts, things about their mother or father, some, very disgusting images and thoughts for them, annoying thoughts. So everybody in the world has intrusive thoughts, and that's when the brain gets into glitch of malfunction. And instead of having that natural ability to shut down intrusive thoughts when they show up, when an intrusive thought shows up in someone's head in the world, as I said, almost everybody in the world, they say, oh, that's nasty thought. And then there's something called a lever in basal ganglia part of the brain, part of the striatum it's called. This lever's name is caudate nucleus. That's supposed to automatically, once a thought popped up or image popped up that is not in line with your values and your inclination and your gender and your preferences, that lever named caudate nucleus is responsible to automatically shut that down, shut that thought down. And then you say, oh, that was just nasty. And then it does its job, and then you go about your business, about your day. But sometimes this caudate nucleus malfunctions. It's like the automatic gear in the car that it's supposed to change gear when it goes from one speed to another. And then goes, it does automatic. But sometimes it doesn't. And then you actually got to grab that shift gear and manually click it into the next gear. This is what happens in our brains, as it explained in Dr. Schwartz's book of Brain Lock, that when it malfunctions, then your behavior toward this thought should do the job that the caudate nucleus would do automatically. In other words, now you got to grab on to the lever, so to speak, and your behavior would be like you're grabbing onto the lever and manually making the brain understand that that's irrelevant to me. And how do you do that? By simply noticing the intrusive thought as it pops up, then calling it for what it is, rather than thinking that this is you. Calling it for what it is. This is not me, this is the brain. This is not me, this is OCD. HOCD is a subset of OCD. This is not me, this is intrusive thought. So you notice the intrusive thought, you call it, rename it, you call it for what it actually is. It's HOCD, it's not me. It's the brain production, not me. It's intrusive thought, not me. So you call it for one of these names, you notice it, you call it for what it is, and then you ignore it. You keep doing that. This behavior toward these thoughts is doing the job of the caudate nucleus when it was acting it automatically without your interference. You would just recognize, oh, that's a bad thought, and then it would disappear. Now you notice a bad thought, but it doesn't disappear because of that malfunction. So your behavior towards this, your reaction toward this, as I explained, would after a while create a rewiring of your brain through neuroplasticity. Every time it shows up, you recognize what it is, you call it for what it is, and you move on ignoring it. About your business, what's important to you. Focus on what it is you want to accomplish. All the things you got to be doing. Homework, work, whatever, just ignore it. Doesn't matter what it makes you feel, whatever it shows up, the images, thoughts, doesn't matter. Just the topic doesn't matter. You just understand there's a malfunction of the signaling system and you just keep doing what you're supposed to be doing. In that way, neuroplasticity, meaning whatever you do a lot of, you become good at it. Just like when you play piano, you keep playing piano, and all these practices will create neuroplasticity. The neurons create bridges between the two ends, and those bridges pass on the neurotransmitters that makes this information of being good, how to play piano, a natural thing for you. And after a while, you won't even think about it. You just play piano very good. You become good at it. That's called neuroplasticity. You play tennis constantly, you become good at tennis. That's neuroplasticity. Now, doing this after a while, through neuroplasticity, your brain constantly is now focused on how to deal with this when it shows up automatically. It becomes very easy for you. And through that, the brain rewires yourself. And eventually, after a while, the caudate nucleus gets back on track, resets. And then if it doesn't, and these things show up again, you know what they are. So you kind of, it's like, you know, a crazy person on the corner. First time you say, wow, that's a crazy person. Anxiety goes up. What's going on? What is he saying? What is he doing? What is he acting weird? What is he about to attack me? But after a while, you keep seeing it and you learn to ignore it. And you move away, you go away. You just do your own thing. And after a while, you won't even notice. The crazy guy is still doing shit in the corner of the street, but you don't notice it because you know, okay, that's the crazy guy. That's it. So you notice, oh, that's the intrusive thoughts. Fuck it. You just do your own thing. And eventually, that becomes, again, automatic through your manual behavior. you kind of turn it back to because you recondition your brain how to behave toward these things, and the brain gets the idea, hey, this guy is not paying attention to these sort of thoughts, and it's not within his values, and then he gets the message that it's not supposed to pay attention. There are 2 playlists on this channel. You can watch them if you like, but I suggest to you, talk to your parents and understand and tell them that, these are the videos you want to watch, and perhaps, they will put their input, and you then make an appointment with your psychotherapist, because I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychologist. You talk to your psychotherapist, and then they will explain. They have to be specialized in OCD and HOCD to understand how it works and the mechanism of it, and then you will become knowledgeable about it. And on this channel, we have lots of information on it in those 2 playlists that you can find. Intrusive, transient, OCD, HOCD, negative thoughts, and intrusive OCD, HOCD short videos. They will explain to you the relationship and the separation between brain, thoughts, and you, and that is the key to understanding how to deal with HOCD, and understanding that HOCD is brain's thoughts, not you. But before you understand that, you got to see the evidences philosophically and scientifically that you are not the brain, and brain is not you, and it's a separate system. And the brain can make thoughts, and you can use the brain to make thoughts for what you want to advance and accomplish. But the brain itself also makes thoughts that is totally irrelevant to you. There's nothing to do with it. It's meaningless to you, whatever it may be. And HOCD is a production of the brain. It's just a malfunction of the brain. So you deal with it, don't worry about it, but understand it, and through understanding, you get the power. Most guys have it. They may not admit it, but they have it. Because it's the brain. It's the same brain in every human being. The same shit, same model. It's not like one of them, they could have nice clothes and good hair, and they're interested in girls, as we all are, but they could have the same shit in your head. If they don't know about it, they may be wondering themselves. But you know about it. Study it, learn it, become good at it. Train your brain. Train your brain. This is very important in life, to understand that your mission in life, among other things that you want to accomplish, is to actually train your brain, because the brain hasn't come to you trained. The brain is actually an apparatus that malfunctions, and you got to teach it, to understand it, so you are the example for the brain, not the brain. The brain is not your intellect. You are above the brain. You are the intellect. The intellect brain cannot reach. If you watch my video that are you or the brain is the you will understand a lot more about the scientific proof of how you can see that the brain cannot reach your intellect. Brain is not your intellect. Brain is not you. You're not the brain. Therefore, HOCD is brain's work, not yours. The separation between you and the brain and thoughts will set you free, and to be able to handle these things and deal with them, manage them by knowledge, rather than being bamboozled, thinking, oh, it's in my head, it shows up here, so it must mean something. No, it means shit. It means nothing. But it does affect you, because the brain is powerful. It makes the body react to things. And for that, you watch other things that I have, other videos that I have there. All right. Aman says, do you think if I try and manifest that I want to meet somebody like Paul McCartney in my life, does manifestation work for it? Paul McCartney is a famous musician, part of original Beatle group, and whether you meet him or not makes no difference in your life. Just do your best in your life. If you happen to meet him, be somewhere, that's great. Okay, wonderful. But otherwise, you just focus on things that you will be totally, at least, be able to make progress in learning and advancing, rather than leaving it to some kind of a meeting some star and thinking that that will be the turning point in your life. No, you're the turning point in your life. You are the turning point in your life. Now, what you meet, who you meet, these are all maybe encouragements to some degree, but your importance is the fact that you're you and you're in this world and you've got all possibilities to accomplish important tasks. You don't need to meet me or meet X or Y or Z or anybody else. Just learn, educate yourself, become good at something, and make your dreams come true. You may meet him as well. Bossy, sleep and don't give a shit about dreams. They've got nothing to do with you. All day long, you're bothered by these sort of thoughts because I explain what they are. And then naturally, when you sleep, such thoughts that you've been engaged in all day long can come in as a dream. But that means shit. Means nothing. Don't even give it a time of the day. Amy says, thanks, Miran. I'm embarrassed. That's why I said I had to get a courage to ask. No, I had no idea it was associated with OCD. You're smart. Yeah, that's why I get the big bucks. That's why we got 15,000 people here. Oh, just reduced to 14. Sorry. and so I didn't think it was associated. How do I calm myself whenever I think about this imperfection? Yeah, we all think that way. It's just, that's the way we are. We all think we are perfect, and we are. And this whole chaos is, perfection is how you deal with the whole fucking chaos. That's perfection. It's not about being away from all the shit that is happening. We are swimming in this fucking shit. And there are all kind of things that is not of our interest, or if we had the choice, would not even be in the vicinity of it. But it's in the world we live in, right? So learning how to manage and how to deal with the shit that is in this world is perfection. Not being in an environment where nothing other than what we want is there. We can't control that. But we can control our reactions and our management to it, how to deal with it. In other words, you can't control the wind from blowing. You can't stop the wind from blowing. You can't stop the waves from flowing. But you can become an expert captain, that you can help and balance your boat so it won't capsize. In light of the wind blowing and the waves flowing, you know what to do, how to manage and keep the balance of your boat so it won't capsize. That's control. That's balance. That's perfection. Perfection is not in the fact that there's no wind in the air. Perfection is not in the fact that there's no waves in the ocean. Perfection is the fact that you're a certain kind of a person that can keep that balance, bring that balance. Whether you're a pilot, you can fly in that bad weather. Whether you're a ship captain, you can keep your boat from capsizing. Whether it's challenges in life that thrown at you, it's none of your interest or preference or initiation or intention, but you can manage what the fuck is attacking you or what the hell is going around. And that is what perfection is. You focus on that, then you'll know this world is not about being perfect according to what you want or you don't want, but it's about how you handle about the things that you don't want and how you perceive and progress in accomplishing what it is that you want to achieve. That's the perfection. All right. And she says, and I told my close friends about it again after I had courage, and they told their husbands. Now I feel more embarrassed and they judge me thinking I'm damaged or dirty. No, yeah, I know what you're saying. No. How to cope with this? Yeah, just don't give a shit. Amy says, thank you. And I will look into that sound wave. I hope they come out with treatment soon. Yeah, but in the meantime, understand that this thing is just temporary. So it's not there all the time. Once in a while it shows up. There's so many other shit in our bodies that we don't even know. As I said to you, chickenpox is herpes. So everybody's got it. Sometimes it shows up and sometimes it doesn't. You know? Why 3 out of 4 people have it? Because of all the other things that we are exposed to in childhood. Chickenpox being one of them. You know? Abid says, male 23, Bangladesh. Is there any permanent way to cure OCD? Yeah, I understand it. Because everybody has OCD one way or another. Everybody has intrusive thought one way or another. I had all kinds of it in childhood. Whew. Every OCD you say, I had it. And understanding and learning about it is how you deal. You train your brain. Because the brain is not intellect. It's stupid as it comes. Huh? All right. So I guess I have it. I feel so self-esteem. You mean low self-esteem? Nah. I continue comparing almost all of my thoughts like this. Is this OCD or not? Don't give a shit about what thought shows up. Just focus on what it is that you want to accomplish on that day. That's what your focus should be. It's like you're traveling with your car toward a destination, but the road's got lots of shit and garbage and debris and things in it. You just focus on where you gotta go, how you gotta negotiate this distance. You don't focus on the shit and the stuff and the potholes and whatnot that is on the road. You focus on what are the good parts, what are the good things that you can negotiate and use it to get to where you want to go. That's what you should focus in life. Not about the shit that shows up in your head, but what you should be focusing, want to focus, and what's pleasant for you to focus. So you keep your focus on what it is that you select, that you should select, which automatically it dissipates the stuff that you're not interested in. By focusing on what you're interested in, the stuff that you're not interested in life, usually it just dissipates. That's how you bring focus into your life. Not by keep looking at, oh, there's shit, oh, there's shit, oh, there's debris, oh, there's pothole. No, you just focus on where are the places that are suitable and the things that you want to focus on. You focus on horizon, you focus on the road, you focus on where to steer to, where the good parts of the road that your vehicle should travel on. That's what you do. When you're riding a horse and you're galloping with your horse on a distance, you're not focusing, oh, there's shit, I shouldn't go there. You just focus on where's the good road. That's safe for my horse to gallop on. That's a rock, okay, you're not focusing on the things you don't want your horse to go. You're focusing on where are the safe things, where the good road that your horse should be running on. So you steer it to the good part. You're focusing on the good stuff. That focusing on the good stuff keeps your horse away from the effects of the potholes and the closeness to the edge of the, I don't know, road that could slip down to wherever, how far it is, how dangerous it is, and it keeps you away from all the rocks and things that is not good for the horse, and you're just focusing on where's the safe things, where the things are pleasant, where the most fun. That's what your focus should be, on what you want to accomplish, on where you want to travel on, not on what things, oh, that's it. You notice them, you notice that that's the guideline to keep you on where you want to go. But you don't pay attention. You just notice that it's there, therefore it's a guideline to deviate from it. That's it. So use it as a positive pretty much. All right. So we have Buddhist Void says, sorry for being late. Oh, don't worry, it's not a classroom. I don't have attendance held. Says, I had some obligations. All right. Says, hello, Mr. Meron. Hello, Buddhist Void. Says, thank you for the help you're providing on this channel. Do you have any tips to compulsive external validation seeking? Yeah, don't. Don't seek it, because you don't need it. Because guess what? The people that you're seeking validation from, they're also human being, have the same kind of brain, same malfunctioning, same limitations, and same needs and shortcomings. So where do you think they're going to get their validation from? Because if you need validation, you can be damn sure that they need validation. It's not like you're a different kind of a brain or a level of humanity and they are above you. No, it's your brain has created that difference between you and them. So you think their validation makes you strong and makes you a better person, while you don't need that, because you being who you are, it already makes you a great person and validates you because you're here. The universe has given you the validation to be here, part of this world. When your mom and dad were being close to each other, there were like 300 million sperms were created, 300 million other possibilities of human beings to be born. But you were the one who were the chosen one. You were the one who succeeded. You beat them all, and you were the one who were invited to come to this world. So already you have the validation. You have the affirmation. You have been given the pass to be in this world. You don't need any other person who itself got validated by the universe. Now you think them being better than you, that you need their validation? And if it's the same brain and the same mentality, which it is, where do you think they're going to get their validation? From somebody else. So why don't you wait till you find out somebody else that they're getting their validation from, and go get your validation from that, if that validation is important. But guess who gets validation? Those people get validation from somebody else themselves. So everybody's getting validation from somebody. So who's really valuable here? Everybody thinks they're not validated until they get affirmation and attention from somebody else. Cut the chain. I don't fucking need to get validation from anybody. Why? Because I got my validation from the universe being here. I'm born here and I'm doing my best. And my validation is according to my accomplishments and my behavior toward fellow human beings. And what am I doing for this world? Am I bringing something positive? Am I affecting my society, community I live in a positive manner? That is what validates me. Not the fucking idiot who's himself or herself is looking for a validation from somebody. Everybody is looking for some validation, some kudos from here and there to feel important. And you're trying to get your importance from somebody who itself is looking for another person to validate him or her. Your validation is based on your accomplishments, based on your understanding, how you manage life, how to keep balance in life, and what efforts and how you affect the society and communities that you live in, other people. Simple. Accomplish your task in this world. That's your validation. Learn about yourself. That's your validation. Understand your psyche. That's your powers. You don't need somebody else to say, who are they? Where do they get their qualifications? All right. Busiliku says, Doctor, I live in a country in Alabama. Listen, my dear little friend, I am not a doctor. I don't want any misunderstanding here. I'm not a psychotherapist. I'm not a psychologist. I don't have any medical credentials. My research is based on my life, my interest. The books that I've written is based on my research on the scholars of hundreds of years ago. My understanding and study about the sciences through scholars and psychologists, psychotherapists, neurosurgeons, neuroscientists. I've learned these things through my research and through my life. Personal experiences and research of these scholars, and my pondering and my abilities to analyze them and then come up with a delivery that it could help others and make it more understandable. But I don't have any medical credentials, and I don't claim to have one. So please be clear on that. I suggest if you have more questions, you can have your parents to make an appointment with the psychotherapist, psychologist who is specialized in OCD and HOCD, not regular psychologists. They don't understand. Not every psychologist can understand what that is. And so therefore you got to have the right psychologist to help you understand. In the meantime, these videos are here on YouTube that you can search. And you can look at the links that I have at the bottom of my videos on this topic. Dr. Philipson, Dr. Jan Weiner, Dr. Schwartz. These are all brilliant experts in the field that if it's not possible for you to reach them out, but at least you can watch their videos and understand more about your psyche. And you can watch my videos and understand what information is shared there and then ponder on them and so research more. And it's an opportunity for you to learn about your brain and its limitations and its function and its powers, and understand the relationship between thoughts, brain, and you, and thoughts and consciousness, fear, desire, ego, and all these things, to learn about your psyche. And that's an opportunity to bring you to focus on the importance of learning about the movement of the mind, and not to be fooled by the suggestions, images, and ideas and thoughts that show up and is produced by the brain. Don't make a mistake thinking that the brain is your teacher, that the brain is your intellect. The brain is none of that. The brain is as stupid as it comes. You are the power, and you are the learned one. You are the intelligent one. And you can sift through these and take the bullshit out of the stuff, and the thoughts, images, ideas that are of no interest to you. Measure them against your values and let them fall by the wayside and focus on what it is that you want to accomplish in this life. That's how you roll. Otherwise, there's all kind of shit that's being introduced to us, suggested, or pops up in our head, either by other people or by our own brain. You're not supposed to react to them. Just let them be. It's like fart in the wind. Statics. Statics. All of statics. Rose says, Meron, you missed my question. Let me go back. Find Rose. Oh, there it is. Thank you. Sorry for that. Rose says, press like, everybody. Yes, thank you for that. And Rose says, I'm female, 33, from New York. My family and I immigrated from Russia. Oh, очень приятно. Rad z wami poznakomitzai. Says, I am breadwinner of the family. If I didn't have to help them, I can get my own place and move out for once since I'm 33. My parents worked but got laid off during COVID, and they don't speak English. I feel thankful to them but I am getting angry. I can't live my own life since I have to support them. My friends are all living alone and buying everything they want. How do I live alone? If I do, they can't support themselves. Mm. 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 I gotta think about this a little bit because I may have to come back to you another time. Or if you'd like to go on my Skype, go on my site, mind@6truth.com, and make an appointment on Skype so we can talk about it one-on-one on Skype in more detail. There's so much I don't know about your parents, their capabilities, your field of studies, your work, the possibilities, the programs that are in the States. I understand they just passed the budget. There could be some help. I don't know, about $1,600 a month in addition to $400 to $2,000 a month. If they qualify, they each get that. That's $4,000. I don't know how that works, but I also don't know. There are other things that I could talk to you about. I don't know. You probably are frustrated because you don't have any personal life due to the fact that you're constantly at home with them and you're taking care of the necessities for the family, and you pretty much feel like anything you do is selfish, that you're spending money on yourself and you're limited to the money that you make because you're trying to make sure everybody is taken care of. So perhaps you got to look into some of the programs that is available for them. But there are lots of information I don't know, and I can't necessarily, without knowing, come up with. It needs brainstorming, so maybe you want to make that appointment. But if 1 hour is difficult for you, which if there's a 1 hour appointment, I'll make another hour into it and make it 2 hours for that session, so there'll be plenty of time. So that'll make it a little bit cheaper for you. Or if you go for the half an hour, which would be more, maybe affordable for you depending on your finances. I don't know where your finances is. Then I again give you another half an hour on that, so I'll make that 1 hour. So perhaps in that way I can get more information and we can explore it together, brainstorm it, and see what are the options. Otherwise, it's very limited that I can't suggest anything on the spur of the moment because I can see the depth of it. I can see what you're up against. Rolling on says, thank you for doing this show, Mehran. Well, it's not a show, for heaven's sake. My pleasure, I understand. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Ed Lirgu says, Ed, 41, New York. So after giving your soul to your partner, she leaves with someone else after 16 years together, 14 married. So I just have to I have to concentrate on what you're doing for that day and take it like I don't quite understand where you still have to concentrate on that. Okay. Yeah. Well, that's you can't. It's not your. it's not your responsibility to figure out why she did that. It's her shortcomings and her lack of ability to present a solid foundation for the relationship that you guys worked on for 14 years. So it's not on you, it's really on her. It's her failure, not yours. So you look at it, just because she went with somebody else, that doesn't mean she's got it and you failed. Because your job wasn't to keep her, it was also her job to keep you. So the fact that you were still keeping her, but she couldn't keep you, it's her failure. So don't think of yourself as failure just because she left and she's got somebody else. What does that mean? Nothing. Just means she failed on her mission, which was keeping this relationship for what it was worth, for all the years that you guys worked on it. I don't know if you have children or not, but that's another story. It adds to her failure, not yours. So again, I don't know enough detail, and we can think about it and talk about it further on your courses to take and what opportunities you have, perhaps at a different time. And Dilgani says, Mehran, 24, Male, London. Thank you so much for your help in my life. You're quite welcome. My pleasure. Column says, thanks for helping me. Do obsessive thoughts mean anything about us? No, it just means that we are having anxiety and trying to bring certainty in life, while living in life itself is an environment of uncertainty. Yet in this uncertain forum, it's an uncertain framework, the life, you're trying to create a certainty. And since there is no way, you come up with some superstitious bullshit, which OCD is all about, pretty much. You trade off some kind of a assurance, psychological security and assurance that you're looking for, which cannot be had, but you create that out of a fictitious quality of thinking that if I do this certain crazy behavior, then I have created a balance and assurance to make myself accept and agree and believe that what I'm looking for is achieved through these crazy behavior of checking the stove 50 million times, touching the light switch 100 times, or checking the lock when I lock the door, or moving back and forth my foot over the seams of the tiles or the road, and different other crazy things, trying to make sure, which that itself leads into different kind of OCDs, such as, what about my gender? I got to make sure that I am who I've always been, who I've always wanted to be. Well, my brain could say so. It's a glitch that could be no different than washing hands or turning the light switch on or thinking that you're a different gender when you're not. None of that is true, and none of that would make any difference if you think that I've got $1 million in the bank. If that would work, I would sit and say, okay, if I touch the wall 5 million times, I'll have $1 million in the bank. I bet you I'll be not sleeping until I finish that 500 times touching the wall. But it doesn't work that way. But we understand that, and we don't expect it to work. But we do think that, but in some other ways, it can work out. If I touch this 3 times, maybe my exam would be better. And if I don't, maybe I will fuck up in my exam. If I do that, that girl will say yes when I ask her to go out. But if I don't, maybe... These are all bullshit. And it's no different than the pure, no different than these other things. Pedophilia OCD, harm OCD, religious OCD, homosexual OCD, sexual orientation OCD, whatever your gender is, there's an HOCD for that. So, so that's what it is. It's just you've created a belief system because you can't get that psychological security that every human brain is after, every human being's psyche is after. Since you can't bring that certainty, that psychological security, you're creating a fictitious condition to make yourself believe that I've achieved it, to put yourself at some kind of a calm makes really no difference. It's all calm anyhow. Whether you touch that 50 times or not, the outcome is still the same. Whether you go back and forth on that tile, your gender is your gender. It's always been since birth. It's not going to change. So thoughts that show up, you don't have to do any countering to it or diffusing it or refuting it. Just let it be. Fuck, who cares? It's a brain. Makes thoughts. So if you don't pay attention to something, it doesn't exist. You pay attention to things, even though it doesn't exist, you think it does, because that's what the power of the brain is. Yeah? So don't pay attention to it. Choose not to pay attention because it doesn't exist whether you pay attention to it or not. It just bothers you when you pay attention to it. That's all. But what bothers you, because you feel this emotion of it, then you feel, oh, it must be real because it bothers me. Well, I can think of anything, imagine anything that I don't like. It will bother me. That doesn't mean that what I've imagined, because it bothers me when I imagine it, is actually actuality. It's not. It's just our feeling and sensories come into the picture because the brain can activate sensories that makes a reaction in the body. Physically, I can feel something. Or emotionally, I can feel something. But that does not mean that it's an evidence to the actuality of what bothersome thought that I imagined or popped up in my head. It doesn't give it a factuality just because I'm bothered by it. I react to things. But that doesn't mean what I'm reacting to, something, it gives actuality what I'm reacting to. You can think about a sour lemon in a vineyard, or you have just green grapes that is sour. You put in here, oh, sour, and then you imagine you having a lemon or lime, squeezed into your mouth, and you're just salivating. But there is no lemon, there is no sour grape right now. There's nothing here. But my body is reacting by salivating. Why? Because the thought of it can create that sensation and emotion, can make my body react to it. But this reaction that I'm seeing, the salivating, doesn't make the actual imagination or the thought of the sour grape or lemon to be true. There's no sour grape here. There's no lemon here. There is nothing that's being squished in my mouth in that sour taste. So I have the reaction, but that reaction doesn't mean that what I'm reacting to is actually, there's actuality here. There's no lemon, but I got the reaction as if I'm tasting a lemon. But the fact that I can see that reaction doesn't make that what I'm reacting to have any actuality. Still, there's no lemon. It's a thought. But the brain can actually have that kind of a power on the body to react to things. If you understand that, then it's like any other thing. OCD. You think if I don't touch this, my father will die. I wouldn't. Or if I don't do this, or if the thought of the HOCD has come to my head, then I might be that. No, it's a thought. Or I had a growing response. Maybe then, I saw that same gender that I react. No, you react, your body reacts because the brain has an ability to have anything that is sexually relevant in this world, even if it's a tree. You may have an arousal toward it, but that doesn't mean you're a triosexual. I have to understand this. These are brains. And these are the reactions and the power of the brain over the body. But you have the power over the brain by ignoring it and letting body do what it does and don't pay attention to it, don't interpret it, and go on, live your life and understand the science of the movement of mind and the psyche. And the separation of the brain and you will set you free. You're above the brain. The brain is not you. You're not the brain. So let it do whatever the shit it does and don't give it damn. Ed says, yes, she had 2 kids, then she gave me my daughter, so she took her from me and moved to another state. So it's been 2 years since the divorce. I'm still having a hard time accepting the reality. Is that so easy for the mother to take the child, or you agreed to it? It's unfortunate that when these things happen and the children suffer without having any part of this, and the parents who actually get the divorce, whether the mother has initiated or the father, they don't think that they're affecting somebody else's life, and that's their children. I mean, I don't care if two people want to separate or divorce while they don't have any children. That's fine. It's your life, and you go on and make your life however you want to make it. But when you have children, you better have thought of it before you wanted to make children. When you have children, you have no other right. You have no right to break that marriage when nobody is really physically or emotionally abusive, or there is no real ground to it. Just because you feel like it. Fuck you. What about those children? What about what they are supposed to be receiving? The love and the security and the feeling of all that was promised to them. They didn't ask to be here. They're here. It's your responsibility. You just simply, this is how the value of people have come to be, children. Parents get married, get to have children, and say, okay, now I've got to go live with somebody else. I'm going to take this child with me. What the fuck? This child itself has a life. What about the respect for him or her? How dare you? You're more important than the child, and you say, oh, my child is more important than me. Yeah, is he? Or is she? But you still sever his or her life and take it somewhere else. Because that's what you are doing. So you're really taking care of yourself. You're not really thinking your child is more important than you. So if she has done that and you couldn't stop it, well, then you just be the best father that you can be. Don't worry about her. Care about your daughter. Be in her life. Attend to her. I know it's difficult right now, but be in contact with her and do your best. Be the best father you can be. Spend as much time as you can. And the fact that she has moved to another state, I mean, she's an idiot, because she really doesn't care about the role and the rights of the children. If she did, she would have understand that she would have to have her father around to stay in the same state, at least for choices, the chances that the daughter and the father can also be together, and the whole family still, while separate, still feels the kind of environment that the child needs to have. It's unfortunate, but you just put all your focus on what you can offer your daughter. Completely. Whatever it is that she needs. And stay close to her. All right. And I'm sure that there are legalities there that you have probably looked into, what your rights are. And it should have been joint custody, and I hope that you didn't give full custody to her, which you probably have, but at least you could have given full custody conditional that she would stay in the same state, because you would have a chance to see her. But full custody is always not a good idea. It has to be joint custody, because you both are responsible and the child loves both of you and has the right to be with her mother and her father, and you should not try to replace her in her eyes, replace her mother in her eyes, and she shouldn't try to replace you in her eyes, which she already fucked up on that. Anyhow. But stay close to your daughter and be the best father you can be. Your daughter will always remember how you cared and how you were there for her. Go out of your way if you have to. I know these times are difficult and risky, but when things are normal, you attend to her and be there and participate in her life and she will remember, and she will know. Well, guys, it looks like that we are now 2 hours 42 minutes into this, and we have discussed all questions and answered as many questions as we had. And I hope that you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. It's time for me to say goodbye for now. We will have another live chat at about 9 o'clock tonight, same channel. And if I see you guys tonight or other people, well, look forward to it. If not, we'll talk to you next Saturday. Every Saturday, please let people know that we have a live stream on this channel, and put it on your social media. Let them to know that we have this support available. I'm going to put a little short link here for the 1 minute and 47 seconds video that I have, which promotes the live stream and tells you that tells them that we have this activity going on every week, and hopefully this would be helpful to people. So please share this link that I put just down there on your social media, and hopefully I'll see you tonight, if not next week. And in the meantime, be good to yourself and to the others, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.